Sunderland have agreed personal terms with Igor Paixao, the 26-year-old Marseille winger, according to Santi Auna, with Fabrizio Romano describing it as a verbal agreement. The clubs have agreed nothing at all. Marseille rejected a bid reported at €30 million, and the price reported on his head is 50. Agreeing with the player before the club is the sequence that does the work here, because it narrows Marseille's options rather than Sunderland's. Marseille are reported to be selling under pressure from UEFA and the DNCG, with the owner Frank McCourt insisting several high earners move on, and until money arrives, they cannot register new signings. A seller in that position needs a deal that actually completes, not the largest figure on paper. Once a player has told one buyer yes, every rival bid arrives carrying a question about whether he would even go. Le Provence reported that Paixao has privately insisted he does not want to leave, and that he may have little say in it. Those two things sit oddly together, and the reporting does not resolve them. The obvious reading is that a club forced to sell hands the buyer a discount. The distance between €30 million bid and 50 million asked says that has not happened yet. Marseille have been expecting an approach from Saudi Arabia at something nearer their valuation, which is the version of this where the agreement with the player counts for nothing unless he digs in. He is reported to view the Premier League as the greater sporting appeal. That preference is currently the only thing standing between the two numbers, and a preference is not a signature. Whether Sunderland will move above 30 million, and how any fee would be split into installments or add-ons, nobody has reported. I am not going to invent it. What that bid does to the other negotiation is the part that only makes sense now. Sporting's Jenny Catamo has been the main target all summer, and those talks have been difficult, and a public move for a Marseille winger tells Sporting that Sunderland have somewhere else to go. That can pull an asking price down. It can equally harden one. If Sporting read the interest as a club that has money to spend and days in which to spend it, and then Sunderland are left pushing for a player Marseille have already knocked them back on. There is a football question underneath the money too. Paixao has played most of his career from the left, and the position the club identified as the summer's priority is on the right, so one of the two has to bend. Marseille need bodies out before the window shuts on Tuesday, and their valuation has not moved. The condition that settles this is whether that 50 million comes down towards Sunderland's offer, or whether somebody arrives willing to pay it in full. Everything else, the personal terms, the medical talk, the fan anger in Marseille, changes nothing until one of those two happens. By the end of Tuesday, Sunderland will have signed a winger from Marseille, or they will be back at Sporting's door with Catamo, exactly where they started the summer.